Hello.
Good morning.
Or good afternoon or good evening. Who knows? Like for Hillary, it's afternoon. Hello, Hillary.
Hello, Hillary. It's
Hello,
cold
Chris.
and rainy here. I bet it's colder up at where you are too. It's like 12 degrees. Morning, Chris.
Chris is bringing up the actor for Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, died earlier today. Unfortunately, of cancer.
Hey, David Dodd from Tacoma, Washington. Do you have Dodds in South Carolina? You're probably related to me. Georgia, South Carolina.
David Dodd. Hillary says it's been wet this week.
Yes, she does say that. Yeah, well, I always imagine Wales as very windy, very chilly, even in the summertime. Chilly.
Well, I had a hurricane hit. Well, it didn't hit me, but almost hit me. We had Marco and Laura. You know, they just went.
Marco and Laura.
Mm-hmm. I thought they should have named the other one Polo, so they could have playing a game.
I saw one of those memes.
I think.
Hey,
I felt like I thought of that actually by myself.
Yeah.
My own. I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I saw Marco and I was.
Yeah, how many other kids in the world do you think thought of that, Sarah? Really?
Well, I didn't see anything before I thought of that. So I just thought.
Yeah.
I told my mom, and my mom got a kick out of it.
I'm glad.
So hello, Bob and Jory and Kelly.
G'day, g'day.
What?
Unseasonable winds in Wales, Hillary says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would like to go to Wales. I've told you that. Hillary, find out why my golden name is down around Cardiff for me, please. Pretty please. Sunny now. Good for you.
It's humid here right now. I was telling Mags, because if you guys have been in tune, last week, that I went on vacation. I just got back. And for some reason, my AC turned off. So it's like 82 in my house right now. And it's taking forever to kick back on. So I'm kind of dying right now.
Don't die. Please don't die.
I won't. Well, dying. Heat exhaustion, humidity.
I don't know if we're getting remnants of the hurricane up here now, but it looks like the weather is going all the way from us all the way down into the Gulf of Mexico. So we're getting lots of rain, and it's quite chilly at 12.
Did you read David's response, Mags?
I did. All right. Sorry, David. I wish I was related to you. It would have been a great honor.
So what David said was apparently David Dodd, his great-grandfather was born Bond from England and changed his name to Dodd. Do you know why he changed it from Bond to Dodd?
Well, probably in 1870, they weren't aware of James yet.
Yeah.
James Bond. James Bond.
Hello, Joyce and Jane.
Yeah, and Jane from Dublin. Hello, Dublin. I love Dublin. I've been to Dublin. I spoke in Dublin last year. Not even last year. It was last fall. I was in Dublin. Yes, it was beautiful.
It's almost September, guys. Can you believe it?
Yes, yay! I took a road trip to see my godson over during the week, and the trees are changing. There were bright yellow trees on the side of the road coming back.
Well, David, I'm so glad you asked where you can get one of these Enjoy Genealogy t-shirts. Happens to be that I have a link to share. Hold on, I just got really excited.
Don't get us in there. If you take us to the store, Sarah, we'll never leave it.
We'll never leave. So this is if you see, you can't click it or anything. You can just write it. You have to type it manually. But that's the WikiTree store. And it has this shirt. You can get this on anything. You get it on a towel, on a mug. Everything. But then there's the American Mutt ones and just some other fun WikiTree things that you can put on a shirt or a sweatshirt or a sticker or a tapestry or anything. There's so much freedom. So that is where you can get an Enjoy a Genealogy shirt. You can get it in any color. Well, not any color, but a variety of colors.
Nice. Well, Chris says he has a friend named Dodd, and he's a podcaster who lives in Canada, but all my Dodds are in South Carolina, but it's quite possible. And Hillary says, were those Galdens in Glenmorgan or Monmouthshire? I have no idea. No idea. All I know is that we're getting lots of indications that Galden or Galding is a Welsh name.
I read that.
That's the only place in the world that has Welsh, that has my surname as place names and stuff, is Wales as well. So
I read that as Monmouthshire.
Monmouthshire. Mama. Oh, Monmouthshire.
And David gives us a good, because I asked him why they changed it from Dodd to Bond, and he says no one left knows, and it's a reminder to speak to your older relatives while they're still around, your great grand.
Absolutely. I have to write my question of the week notes. I do question of the week notes every week.
She does notes for every single live cast she's on.
Here we go. I've got a whole stack of them going back for quite a ways.
You should put them in a little, I don't know, some kind of memorabilia thing.
A memorabilia thing. I should put them in a WikiTree. The next time we have Roots Tech, we'll set up a place where we can jackhammer the floor, and I will hide it in a time capsule in the floor at Roots Tech.
And then we can put our handprints when
we could put our handprints when we put it back. You think the little guy on the what, I forgot what his name is. Do you think that the little guy on the Segway will catch us doing that?
Not if we're fast.
They catch us doing stuff wrong all the time. If you look wrong at the wall at Roots Tech and you're thinking at the same time, wow, it'd be nice to put something on that wall, they'll still be there. I don't know how they know.
Yeah.
What's today's date?
Today is the 29th. August 29th.
August 29th.
2020.
See, I have to date it.
You should just make a free space page and scan them.
And put all of them up?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, Bags is trouble? I am not trouble.
Bags is trouble.
No. I'm going to talk about the question of the week.
What is the question of the week?
The question of the week is, I got to share my screen. I want to share my screen. Okay. Oops. I do it right. There we go. Share. And there we go. The question of the week is, do you have Caribbean roots? Do you?
I don't.
Do I have the right screen up, Sarah?
Yes, you do.
Okay. I'm going to go full screen too to make it bigger for people. There we go. Do you have Caribbean roots? There were lots of there weren't a lot of answers, and I actually know more people on WikiTree who have Caribbean roots who didn't post. Sorry for them for not posting, but like the leader of the Bahamas project should have posted. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Huh? So, do you have Caribbean roots? There were lots of really great answers. Roger Tozer started out the answers as a comment. No, but some of my Ramson relations do in Jamaica. So he's done some research of the Ransom surname in Jamaica, and he says, I'm happy to hear from people that are interested. And there were a bunch of comments that were answers to his kind of. D Overcast, what a crazy cool name that is, said that she's interested in Caribbean roots and ancestors that traveled from Spain to Puerto Rico in the 1400s. Also interested in the Taino people. So if you don't know who the Taino people are, the Taino people will go over to that wonderful, perfectly clear and great resource. I'm tongue-in-cheek here. Of Wikipedia. And Wikipedia talks about the Taino people being the original inhabitants of the Caribbean when Christopher Columbus actually discovered the Caribbean islands. He didn't actually discover America. America had been discovered long before Christopher Columbus by some other people that we know that had Viking helmets on. So Christopher Columbus discovered the West Indies, or the Caribbean islands. And when he landed, the Taino people were the people who were the indigenous population of the Caribbean at the time. They were the first natives, the first people of those areas. And I've always heard that the Taino people were killed, the majority of which died from diseases that Columbus and his crew brought over, and in subsequent people coming over. But there was a 2018 DNA study, yeah, Sarah said it, from an ancient tooth that determined that Tainos have living descendants in Puerto Rico, and indicated that most Puerto Ricans have a degree of Taino ancestry. So that's fascinating. Teeth are one of the best places to get little bits of DNA to test, and also these crazy little bones in your ear are a good place because they're very protected, and teeth are very protected. So it goes on to tell a bunch more about the Taino, but it's interesting that the Taino, and I'm not sure I'm saying that correctly, that they were, yeah, Taino, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's really cool that that's the very first comment, a nod to the original people who settled the Caribbean islands, that's the very first comment. So that's really cool. I like that. And D. Evercast says that she's talking about how the Taino were taken as slaves, were enslaved by the Spaniards and the Portuguese explorers. Roger Tozer even goes on to say that he has Jamaican ransom families with Jamaica, immigrant ransom relations, government officials, plantation owners, and to his shock, that there were people who had been enslaved on the plantation, which is not unusual to hear that. Tracy O'Brien talks about how her grandfather was born in Kingston, Jamaica in 1837, and then came to England with his brother Henry years later, ended up living and marrying my English great-great-grandmother, Sarah Baldry, who was a widow with one daughter called Emma, and she was 19 years younger than him. I think they must have married around the early 1880s. She's asking if there's any ships that regularly docked in London from the West Indies around that time. She's actually asking for some help. And she's talking about her DNA being of West African descent, and talks about some of the sugarcane plantations. And then Marian Cerruti, who has another great answer lower and off, is talking about, can you post the URLs? So here we go. Roger suggested to Google enslaved or slavery in Jamaica. And then D. Overcast popped up with a ton of great links off to different other areas of information about sugar and slavery in the 17th century, the Taino, and I actually pulled up that Wikipedia link based on that list. So here we are. We're going through that collaboration thing we do every year. There's also a link to registers, U.S. and UK Royal Navy registers of seamen that Dee put up. So there's tons and tons and tons of great information in the very first comments on this answer. And then we get into the people who were just answering the questions with a couple of stuff going on. Lynette Dovey has U.S. Virgin Islands connections. Nancy Wilson's husband's, this is like an A.J. Jacobs answer. Her husband's uncle married a Puerto Rican woman. There we go. Marian Cerruti, that we were talking about earlier, that she had possibly a Caribbean pirate in her family, and that there's 89% 8% West African in her genes. back to that whole DNA thing. I just love that. You know that. Richard Hill found a British West Indies connection in the census. He found an 1850 census, I believe, that had information about 1851. That it listed that his third great grandmother was born in 1819 in the British West Indies. How cool is that? Jeanette Niles, both her parents are from Trinidad and Tobago. I always think of Trinidad and Tobago because they have like the smallest contingency at the Winter Olympics, but they always have a contingency. It's so much fun. I do not, but my husband does. Cheryl Miller. Her husband is from, and I can't read my own writing. See, I shouldn't put, he's from the Dominica. Woo! Boy, it looks like well, yeah, maybe I did right.
2-3 generations from now, they're going to be looking at your notes. They're going to, be asking people to help them try to figure out what you were writing.
That's funny. Then Melanie Winterbotham. And Melanie had a good answer. She said that her ancestors, she was afraid, were slave owners in Montserrat, originally, Montserrat, originally from Oxfordshire. And she talks about that and the fact that there is mixed race in her family, but it doesn't show up in her DNA. And Marian Cerruti has the best answer for that. She says, it is nothing to be ashamed about if your ancestors owned slaves. You had no control over that. Moreover, some people whose ancestors who owned slaves are descended from slaves as well, not necessarily the same slaves that they owned. That's very, very common. That was a great answer, Marian, and I really appreciate your answer on that. My paternal grandparents were born in the Bahamas. This is from Marian with her answer. And let's see, and she has a profile here that we pulled up. This is Marian's profile for her. What was it? My grandfather's profile. There we go. Perfect.
Looks like a nice profile.
It does.
Very well fleshed out. The DNA got there, and lots of kids.
There's a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a big picture.
That's okay.
I was trying, man. I was trying. But he's part of the Bahamian family, and he was a Freemason. I didn't realize we had a little Freemason symbol. I have to put one on.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah,
I have a Freemason. My great grandfather was a Freemason.
Oh, there's a good picture. Wow. You said lots of kids.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you saw it in the profile, is that with I guess all of his kids, or maybe most of his kids?
That's a lot of them. How many kids were there? There were lots of kids.
Let's count.
Go for it. Do your mathing.
It was about 20. That's small for me on my end. It was about 20.
He had 3 different wives.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. But the other thing I really like about this profile is look at the beautiful biography. It's well written. It's actually a written biography, not just bullet points. I find that a lot of mine just have bullet points yet. I haven't had time to go out and fill back in. There's a great research notes section that's talking about more information, and the sources are down here. We could probably
I'll put that on a bullet point.
Yeah, get that moved up into a template. There's a template for the Find a Grave Memorial that works well. So yay. That's fun with a marriage license. I really like that, Marian.
Yeah, nice profile.
Nice profile, Marian Cerruti.
I would always recommend, when you see somebody post a link for their ancestors profile, take a look at it so you can get an idea of, how they're doing their profiles. If you want to, take any of what they're doing.
Yeah.
So.
It's nice. It's very
and then
nice.
Look, we realized there was a Freemason sticker. Look at that.
I know. I'm going to steal that. Not steal it. I'm going to gonna take it and put it on my granddaddy. Okay, so then Marcella Hadler was from. She had a long one. Great-grandfather came from Barbados. She had a Barbados connection. Shaka Russell Milner had Westmoreland, Jamaica, and Panama. Vicky Holbrook. Was from Antigua. Mary Davies, her, where did it go? Mary, where are you? She had a great-grandfather who was the mayor of Kingston, Jamaica at some point, Mom. Yay. And then Paula Pickens says that her husband's family is from the French side of Saint Martin. Nice. Nice. That was the question of the week. Do you have any Caribbean roots?
Were anybody in the comments, anybody who's watching, have any Caribbean roots that they wanted to share? I haven't seen any comments in a while, so I wasn't sure if. I don't really have Caribbean roots. I had some family come from Spain, and they went to Mexico and Cuba, and then ended up in Guatemala. So I don't know if that counts or not. I don't know.
I may or may not have a connection to a minister. A Puritan minister who was exiled from Bermuda in the 1600s because he believed in adult baptism. Horrible thing to believe for those Puritans. Have to baptize his babies. So he was exiled, and so he and William Saylor and a couple other people decided to build a utopian place on a deserted island in the Bahamas called Eleuthera. So they all went to Eleuthera, but I haven't been able to connect myself to him. I just know that that's a significant possibility. Yeah, so that's kind of fun. There's places in Bermuda called Galding.
Interesting. Hello, Eileen Bird from Manchester.
Hey, Eileen. Okay, come on, Eileen. No, I'm not singing it.
So my cat's probably going to be featured through the whole chat because she missed me since I was on vacation for a week. So she's been extra.
Yeah,
she's been extra. Little cutie. Okay, so now as we did the question of the week, our profile of the week, which Mags might know more about than I do.
Oh no.
I don't know, just because he's was a Canadian whatchamacallit, the 15th Governor General of Canada.
Yes, and people want to know what the Governor General does in Canada.
I know, that's a good, what does the Governor General do?
The Governor General, okay, so Canada is still a part of England. We're a Commonwealth country. So we still have a representative of the Queen who lives in Canada. And Baron Tweedsmuir, John Buchan, or how do you say his name?
Buchan. Bacon.
He was the Queen's representative, and they actually, it's kind of more of a beauty pageant kind of thing. It's not there's a lot of work that the Governor General does as far as the arts and humanities and things like that. And back when he may have had more logistical work to do, but today the Prime Minister has to get permission from the Governor General in order to open Parliament, and the Governor General, does a speech from the throne, just like the Queen does, but does a speech from the throne for Parliament. It's interesting. It's interesting going on. Our current Governor General is in a bit of a trouble because apparently her workspace is a toxic workspace, so she's working through that right now. So, and one of our former Governor Generals was originally from Haiti, so that was fun. Yeah,
this guy, he was born in Scotland. He came over. But so I don't know if any of you have noticed, we talked about it last week, the new connection finder features. We have more people at the bottom, and we've been trying, we usually try to keep a theme. So we have Mr., our profile of the week, our main one, but everybody else who's listed at the bottom, besides like the member of the week, they're all thriller novelists because he was a writer. Mr. John Buchan was a thriller novelist, which is an interesting fact. Did you know that, Max?
I didn't. I was not familiar with him until I saw he was the profile of the week.
Yep. So we also have, like last week, we have all of the other thriller novelists that you can see how you're connected to. Alexander Dumas, Dashiell Hammett, Joan Lindsay, Naggio Marsh, Raymond Chandler, Robert Louis Stevenson, Tony Hillerman, and Wilkie Collins. So these are all thriller novelists that we kind of linked together with our main profile of the week, John Buchan. If anybody wants to see if we're pronouncing that right, I don't know. But he was a writer. And it was funny, I was reading his profile. He didn't like school, but he became educated nonetheless. He learned Latin. He studied the classics. He graduated with a Master of Arts. That was funny when Get Mag was talking about how they oversaw the arts and stuff. Well, it makes sense. He was a writer, and he got a Master of Arts, so Governor General. So that all makes sense. And then, so he was the Governor General until his death. So for about 4 years, more or less, he was Governor General until February 11th, 1940, which was the same day he died. I was trying to see how he died, but I don't see that on his profile. Maybe on Wikipedia. Does anybody know? Anybody want to give me any insights? Okay, so Bob Doyle says the U in Buchan as in luck. Buchan. So am I saying that right? Buchan? Buchan. Buchan. And yes, Hillary, I did have a good break. Thank you very much for asking. I wasn't looking at the comments. So
Bob Dole says you as in
luck.
Buchan.
So Buchan. That's what Joyce said, Buchan. I don't think I would have guessed that. Buchan.
Morning, Greg.
Greg loved the 39 steps. So I think I was talking to you guys last week or the week before how I was losing one of the routes that I'm mostly connected to people because somebody disproved it. So that happened. And it was kind of funny yesterday because when we were looking at, that list maker thing where you can put like how you're either, so I had a Jamestown one. So my dad has been to Jamestown. So I was like, Dad, we have a Jamestown ancestor. So I pull it up, but then I realized it had already been disconnected. And I was like, never mind. We don't have a Jamestown ancestor.
Never mind, Dad. Never mind. It's like things move so quickly on WikiTree sometimes, and sometimes things move slowly. But the things that you don't want to move quickly, move very quickly. Mm-hmm. Dad, look. Oh, hey, no. Yeah, it was there. It's gone now.
I mean, I might still be connected that way because it is still like the same surname. There might just be something that's not there, but I don't know. That was my story. Who was the Jamestown? I don't remember who was not. I would have to go. That's why I was that's why I was pulling up the list maker so I could pull it up for my dad. But I would have to go to the profile that got disconnected and search it like that.
Alfred Hitchcock made the book, The 39 Steps, into a movie. And that is a book that John Buchan wrote. And
it's kind of okay. So I guess. Oh no! Wait. Because there was a question here, but it's hidden. That's what I thought was funny. Is anyone 39 steps from John Buchan? I didn't get that connection till right now.
Here is, no, I can't do it right now, but that's fun. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to watch that. I will watch that today. It looks quite dramatic based on the pictures that I'm seeing, the poster, the movie poster.
Mm-hmm. That's why I love I say this every single time, but I love the profiles of the week and talking about them because I learn new things like this. 39, new things to read, new things to watch, learn new things. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoyed that a lot.
Joyce, I understand. I lost my Plantagenet ancestors that way too. Joyce Thompson says she lost her Plantagenet ancestors. It's a fun movie, Joyce Thompson says. I can't wait to watch it. I'm going to watch it today.
If you can find it.
No, I'll find it.
Okay. So now let's look at the photos of the week. The theme was brave. We have 13 images to look at. I feel like looking at the G2G, there might be a lot of stories attached to this. So I'll quickly look through these photos, and then we'll go to the. So you can just imagine the kind of stories behind these photos of why they chose them for brave.
For what?
Because the theme is brave.
Brave, as in.
I can only imagine the story about this guy.
Little Crow.
He was the Sioux chief and leader of the. Got cut off, but something about the Indian massacre of something in 1862. That probably has a good story behind it. Tayo Yateduta. I don't think I said that right.
We're looking at all these great pictures of brave people, but we have no idea, just looking at them, why they're brave.
That's why I want to go look at the see if anybody wrote any stories on the G2G post. So I'll look at these really quick. There's only 13 of them. Bartholomew J. Naughton. Look, another Native American. Grand Sachem Chief William Dunk? I don't think I said that right. I'm sorry. I tried. Oh, he's playing golf. Okay. That was it for that. So let's look at the G2G post.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Man. So, okay, here's a photo of my father, Randall Red Parman, when he was working as a bridge painter on the Golden Gate Bridge. This is a colorized version from the Tool of My Heritage. He was also one of the steeplejacks that changed the flashing red light bulbs in the tops of radio towers. He did this by climbing all the way to the top and was one of the few to do this in Central California. When I was very young, a friend of his crashed his light aircraft in the Yukon Territory of Canada. He flew his aircraft up there and helped rebuild the aircraft on site in the wilderness, which took several months. Bravest guy I know. Man.
Wow.
That's a good story. Look at him. That's cool.
That is cool. That's strange colorization, but very cool.
You should, if you ever listen to this, you should also upload the original photo as well.
Yes.
Okay. So this was one of the ones we saw. This is a photo of my mother. She was the bravest woman that I've ever known. She moved to Kansas and went to work in the Boeing aircraft plant to help build B-29s. She worked there even when she was pregnant with me. She finished her degree after losing her husband in World War II and worked as a medical technologist. She worked at Crippled Children's Hospital during the polio epidemic, and she never worried about herself, only bringing polio home to me. In 1963, when she was only 42, she was diagnosed with advanced breast cancer. I watched her return to work at the VA hospital in Oklahoma City after a radical mastectomy. She never complained and only worried about how others would fare without her. She bravely died at the age of 45. Aww. Sounds very brave.
It does.
Thank you, Alexis, for sharing that story of your mom. So this was great aunt's husband, Horace Tudhope. He enlisted when he was only 17 and found himself a member of the A Company of the Algonquin Regiment. He landed in Normandy in 1944 and first saw action 20 miles from the town of Kane. And it says he also explained he captured 17 German soldiers by himself. He served with a flamethrower unit in which Canadian soldiers perfected an extremely dangerous duty which Canadian soldiers perfected while fighting alongside Dykes in Holland. Interesting.
Yeah, cool. I got Algonquin too.
So apparently supposedly I am descended from the brave Samoset who greeted the Mayflower passengers by saying, "Welcome, Englishmen," and asking if they had any beer. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of him, but here's one of my great aunt Irene in her campfire girl outfit as an Indian maiden. My great-grandmother, she was a very brave and frank woman.
William Sims.
Yeah, he was a quietly brave man. He had polio and tuberculosis as a young man. He was in a sanitarium when I was born. Well, this was him in the hospital. I didn't realize where he was until that.
Brave man, yes.
Mm-hmm. My grandfather, who fought in World War I and was permanently disabled by mustard gas.
I can't imagine having that happen. Teeny picture.
Yeah. My fourth great-grandfather, Lieutenant Johann Ludwig Debick, who fought for the British in the American Revolution with 1st Emmerich's Chasseurs, secondly with the New York Volunteers, and was taken prisoner at the British surrender in the Battle of York in 1781.
And that's a photograph of him? How can that be a photograph of him? Unless he's like 90 years old in the photograph.
I don't know.
Because the photographs didn't start until the mid-1800s. Well, 1829, I want to say. 1839?
I don't know. Fred Cunningham, please explain.
That's fascinating.
So this is my second great-grandmother, Sarah Jane Hildreth Smith, was very brave to care for her father who had pneumonia, a communicable disease. Her bravery and love for him overcame her fear of catching it. She died 9 days after her father at the age of 42 of the same disease. Aww. So this was that one. He led his people into the U.S. Dakota War of 1862. Chief Little Crow.
Nice.
I guess this photo was related to him. It's in the same comments. So to include this beautiful photo of my third great-grandmother Jane, as Jane showed her bravery in her flight from the Lower Sioux Agency, the loss of her stepfather, a newborn baby, the captivity of her children, half-siblings, the soldiering of her husband, and the loss of their property and livelihood. That's what this is.
The Sioux are a very, very brave group of people.
And then we have
Aunt Dorothy.
Yep, she was a WAAF in World War II.
A WAF.
She was mentioned in dispatches and awarded the Oak Leaf for her courage in meeting the planes returning to Cloitshaw and Waterbeck. Leslie Krueger. His father and uncle were Pentecostal preachers in Montana and Washington who had their own following, the Kruegerites. Leslie was disowned by the family for choosing to follow the Baptist faith instead, and though I myself am not Baptist, I appreciate the courage it took to do what he believed to be true and right. He had 15 siblings and many more cousins who judged him harshly for the rest of his life.
Wow. Different kind of bravery.
Yeah. Bravery to standing up for what you believe in, even if your family
doesn't believe in you.
That is brave. This is our much-loved grandson, Kyle, who faced many challenges in his short life, suffered with muscular dystrophy. There was no stopping him once he got his electric wheelchair. He never complained, always gave a ready smile, and had a heart of gold. Oh.
Nice.
And that was it.
Yay.
Thank you, everybody, for sharing the stories.
Yes.
Photos. There was a lot of stuff. I kind of skimmed over stuff because if I read everything, it would take forever. But if you have time, I would please go through and take a look at the photo of the week G2G post.
Yes.
Was there any comments when I was?
Not really. Chris Fariello, though, did say that his paternal grandfather was brave and was a paratrooper in World War II, and his maternal grandfather was also in the Air Force.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay, so I was gonna briefly mention. So our member of the week this week is Ian Speed, and he is actually one of the founders of the Accessibility Angels. We talked about this briefly a couple weeks ago, but it's basically it's helping people with disabilities to access, enjoy, and contribute to WikiTree. It's a newer project. Julie is one of the leaders, SJ, and Ian Speed is the coordinator. But I think this is a really great project to help people who, because WikiTree is tough, even for for just the average person. So making it accessible to everybody, I think, is fantastic.
Yes.
So I know. So they do transcriptions and have they have guides to help people who need. They pair up with somebody who needs help, navigating WikiTree. I think that's awesome. I just wanted to briefly mention that again, since Ian Speed was our member of the week. And if you have another moment, he has a question. Every member of the week they answer questions about their interests, what they're researching, stuff they do outside of WikiTree, and all of that. So if you want to, it's always on. Now it used to be in the blog, but now it's on the G2G. So if you have a minute, you can go and read his post. And I think that's all I've really had to say. And if there's anything anybody wanted to add, or if anybody has any questions about anything we talked about today. So I think you guys saw coming up soon, in October, there's a Source-a-thon in October. That's like the big one.
Mom, what are you doing with your hands? Your hands need to be on me, Mom.
Yes.
Don't forget Kiki.
Yes. So yeah, the Source-a-thon in October.
I wanted to mention something.
Oh, what do you want to mention?
I want to mention that Julie Ricketts is rejoined the team.
Yes, if you guys, some of you might know, some of you might not. So Julie, who's sometimes on the live cast, she has come. She used to be a team member, but then she went on this grand RV escapade, and so but now she's more settled back at her house, so now she's back on the team.
Yes,
WikiTree team.
This is a good thing that happened because of COVID. Sorry to point that out, but we get Julie back because Julie can't be out traveling anymore.
So yes, Julie. Ow! Oh my God! Ow. So Julie's back on the team. So yes, that is. I was going to mention that. I was trying to get Julie to come on, but usually Saturday mornings are a little busy for her. So, but She is here in spirit. And she will watch this and she'll see how we mentioned her and she'll message me. She didn't bite me. She used her nails. She dug her nails into my leg. Naughty kitty. Okay, so I was gonna say the Source-a-thon. I don't think
it's 2nd to the 5th.
Yes. I don't think the registration link is not up yet. I don't think so. But it should be up soon.
I have an email, so let me look.
It might. I think it's coming up. It was mentioned on Wednesday in the newsletter. I don't think. And I was also going to say next Wednesday, every first Wednesday of the month, we have another live cast at 8 p.m. Eastern time to kind of give people who are in a different time zone a chance to join. And we kind of talk about the past month. So we'll talk about August. And we usually kind of have a theme. I'm going to be thinking of the theme today. I don't have a theme yet for Wednesday, but I will get on that. If anybody has a theme to suggest, please let me know. If any of you want me to cover.
What's the date? What's the date? September
2nd? Yeah, 2nd is the.
Isn't that a Tuesday?
No, Tuesday's the 1st. August has 31 days. So the 1st is Tuesday, the 2nd is Wednesday.
I'm looking to see if there are any holiday. It's Bicentennial Day. It's a wacky day that takes the name from a play on the word bicentennial. Bicentennial Day. That's funny.
Everybody should watch. That reminds me of the Bicentennial Man movie with Robin Williams. Great movie. You should watch it. That's all I have to say.
I'm looking to see what it's about. Woo! It's about bison, like really bison, bison.
Oh, like the animal.
Yeah. Wacky day that takes its name from the play on the word bicentennial. Wait, I'm learning more.
Oh, watch out. So if you do have a theme for Mags is learning more, if you do have something you'd like either for next Wednesday or a following Wednesday or for anything, we can. I'm always looking for ideas of what we can chat about on these live casts. Chris was saying he got swamped because the Italy project was mentioned in the newsletter.
Good.
That's good. So we got some new members, Chris. That's good. Chris is also helps with the ambassador project, which is all about getting the word out about WikiTree. You brought up cannolis.
Is Wednesday's hangout at 8 or 7?
At 8 p.m. Eastern time.
8 p.m. Eastern time.
That's it'll be 8 p.m. for Mags and I. We're in Eastern time, but I know about all of you. I know Chris is also on Eastern time.
So is Greg.
Yeah.
So is
Jelaine is also on Eastern time. Hello, Jelaine.
Jelaine, it's 10:48. Yeah, come in here with 10 minutes left, Jelaine.
You're late. No, I'm just kidding.
For a very important date.
Let's see. Did you learn more about that Bison Day?
Yeah. It's a holiday that celebrates some imaginary person or somebody who created hand signals for people to give for soldiers that need to be quiet. I don't know.
Okay.
It was strange. But here, yes, Jelaine, you're here.
Yes, that's all that matters. Oh, she's been working on U.S. Southern Colonies work. So I guess she's still doing WikiTree stuff.
I like U.S. Southern Colonies work. I do. And I love that Jelaine is working on that project because that's a very near and dear project to me.
What about the Source-a-thon, Greg?
Greg is just yelling the words Source-a-thon.
Source-a-thon. Source-a-thon. Maybe we can do something about sources on the.
Oh yeah, we could promote the Source-a-thon.
Or show people sourcing and all of the fun. I don't know. I'd have to think. I have to think about that. I don't think we've talked about.
Maybe Jelaine needs to come and talk to us about sourcing because she has all those beautiful source books behind her in her last time with us.
Okay, Knight says says they're getting ready for the SAT, the SAT, the Source-a-thon.
That's so funny. Source-a-thon. And thank you, Kay, for helping me out last week. I appreciate it.
I don't know what, but
I got stuck in traffic. In traffic.
Oh, I think I saw that email.
Yeah, there was a really bad accident, and I got stuck on the road forever. Oh, let's get into an argument about citation formatting, like those debates. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun, Elaine. Come on, turn on your camera. Come on.
We'll have debates and rules and like a real debate, and people can come on and never mind. That's probably be a bad idea.
Let me pull out some of my books. The genealogical proof standards. I have to do a genetic genealogy proof standards presentation here coming up. Yep.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. So Greg is going to join Team Italy with Chris and work on his in-law profiles.
No, he said so. Oh, okay. Did he just remove that? He did.
Okay, he's like, let's debate what is unsourced. Let's just table that for now. Yeah. What is unsourced and what is not unsourced. That DNA proofing. We need that, Mag, says Jelaine.
Yeah, well, there isn't really a proof standard because the community is very divided about the proof standard. So basically the genetic genealogy proof standard is do what's ethically correct. And that's very important.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Celinda Current.
Celinda. Okay. Ooh, we're gonna.
When we start taking different pronunciations of people's names, that's when we know that things are getting.
Yeah. It's 10:53.
I wanted to show my my great second cousin, so my dad's cousin on my grandma's side. She gave me this photo the other day of my grandmother and grandfather's wedding. It was on my desk, so I figured I'd share it.
Nice.
That's my grandmother. That's my grandfather. That's my cousin who gave me the photo.
So. Post that in the photo of the week next time we have a wedding one.
I know, or hold it to the Scanathon, whichever comes first.
Yes, the Scanathon.
Which is in January, which will be here before we know it. Literally, it'll be the Source-a-thon, and then it'll be the Scanathon.
You know, there are a lot of people who are wishing January were here tomorrow.
Yeah, they want 2020 to be over.
Just move it right ahead.
I will scan it. So, and then there's it says everybody's names on the back because they always did that.
Nice. Did they write it in pen or pencil?
So there's pencil on the top and then pen at the bottom. So it says, so the person who was the usher, the groom, the best man, the maid of honor, all that listed on there. Pretty cool. Okay, well, I guess unless anybody has anything else they want to say, Max and I will probably go. I am tired from vacation. I feel that, Max.
Yes. And I have to go and watch 39 Steps.
Yeah, I have to work a little bit later.
Or read 39 Steps.
Whichever
one is easier to obtain.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to watch the movie, though. The poster looked very, very melodramatic.
Chris wants me to end with a bad joke. Any bad jokes? We reached peak Sarah last week with the Wright brothers. No, I think I'll save I'm not tired. I'm tired, but I'm not tired enough to have a bad joke. So, and I'm also so humid right now.
Because it's 82 degrees in there. It's probably 68
It's
degrees.
hotter inside my house than it is outside right now. Ridiculous.
It's 68 degrees in here right now, and it's because it's just cold. Not because there's air conditioning or anything on.
It's just cold.
It's just chilly. It's like 40, it's 50 degrees outside. Notice how I'm converting stuff to Fahrenheit for the American imperialists.
Because we're the only ones that use a different everything.
Yes.
What can you do?
When I left the DOT was switching to metric. That was 20 years ago, so I hope they're completely converted over now. I
kind of know, since I lived in Japan for like a year and a half, so they used the metric system, so I'm kind of familiar. But
Jordan, bye.
Bye. Okay, bye everybody. We're leaving. Until Wednesday.